Developing this morning, another case of go woke, go broke, and this time Netflix feeling the heat. Over the past week, Netflix has lost $15 billion in market value after users canceled their subscriptions. Earlier this week, Elon Musk began the calls for a boycott after Netflix premiered a show called Dead End Paranormal Park, which Musk said pushes transgender ideology. That animated series has a transgender main character and was designated as appropriate for kids as young as 7 years old. The controversial cartoon caused a firestorm online when social media influencer posting. Netflix is an activist outfit hell-bent on ideological indoctrination. As part of its fund for creative equity, it has given hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Transgender Film Center in order to bring more trans-made stories to the world.
Basically, in a nutshell, he's calling for the boycott for Netflix because they're pushing this pro-trans content. So what we see before us is a transgender cartoon that they're trying to push on children. And so after seeing this, after catching wind of this, Elon Musk on X, because it's no longer Twitter, on X, called for the ban. He said something about, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription, my account or whatever, and I'm calling for it in front of like 226 million followers or something like that he got on X. And as soon as that happened, their stuff plunged, man. They lost like a couple of $1 million in just a few hours.
You gotta follow him.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on him pushing for this ban for Netflix, boycott Netflix?
Hey, this first I've heard of it, and wow, that's real. Woo. And he carried a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it's talking like banning Netflix, I don't even think it's just a Netflix thing in general. I think he's basically saying certain content shouldn't be pushed on the youth. You know, let me be careful with this line right here because it's like this. It's like this, man. You know, you can't go to the military until a certain age. You know, you can't get your driver's license until a certain age. It's certain things that you can't do to a certain age. So I do understanding allowing a child mind to develop to its own. And then when the child has his own development, you know, with the mind, then that child should be able to do and decide to be or do however they see fit. So I get that. So my thing is, I don't think that it's anything wrong with Netflix having content like that, because I think every platform should be able to have any and every content so people can choose. Now, I believe just like back in the day, I come from, you know, where you had to put the parental authorization, you know, on the stickers of the albums and things like that. That meant that everybody can't hear this until they get of a certain age. Now, if you hear it, that's on you, but we need to do our due diligence and be responsible and sell responsibly. So same thing with Netflix. It should be one of those things where if that is that, then it should be categorized and put out there so that, you know, parents can have a block on it until they get of a certain age for their child get of a certain age, and they can make up their own mind. So I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't believe you shut down music because people are talking about whatever. I believe you just put it in categories, and then people decide if it's suitable for their listening and their entertainment.
Facts. Very well put, man. Very well put. And I agree. You know, if you're gonna put stuff like this on the platform, because it kind of sort of has existed for a while, then at least, you know, let us know, okay, this right here is like transgender. This has, you know, LGBTQ or whatever in it. Instead of like Snoop Dogg, I don't know if you remember that thing about the Snoop Dogg situation when he walked into a movie theater and he was sitting down, I think with his grandson or nephew or something like that.
Right.
And they was pushing that Bud Light. He was like, yo, what? It would have been good if it would have been nice if he would have had a heads up about like, yo, this contains such and such. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Everybody deserves that. Yeah, because I'm careful of what I put in my spirit. You know, back in the day, I used to watch everything, anything, everything. Nowadays, if I do watch something that's kind of like, it's because I'm a creator and I kind of want to see what's happening on their creativity. So I'm
Yeah.
not even tripping off the content. I'm looking beyond that. So, but I still got to be careful what I put in my spirit. I don't just watch horror flicks, but I know that's a big thing, especially nowadays. It's Halloween coming up, but I don't
Right.
do the Halloween thing,
Hmm.
But same thing with with me being a follower of Jesus, I would say, because I'm careful with saying a Christian because I know they come in all kind of shape, size, and color, and all kind of look, you know, ideologies as well. So what it is I'm a follower of Jesus. I don't necessarily say I'm a Christian. You see what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
push that on someone. But if someone kind of wants to know something about Jesus, then absolutely I'm gonna be available for that. But I'm not
Yeah.
just gonna shove it down your throat.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. And it was 227 million X followers.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
tough. You gotta follow them.
Man,
They
listen.
follow. They just follow. They don't care how you roll and just rock. Whatever you say go is gone.
Hmm.
So
And what I will say about this, like again, I agree with you completely, but hopefully, and maybe after something like this happen, then they will start putting those things in place that which we was just speaking about. You know what I mean? Like,
but they
you know,
are. They
we
really are though. If I watch a movie, I can tell it says LGBTQ or LGBT. I'm sorry if I mess up all the
you
letters and
good.
things in the name. That's important. But
Mm,
what I'm saying is, I know that that movie is about that. And then
mm,
if I want to watch it, I will watch it. At least I know what I'm watching. But
yeah.
it's the same as any other kind of movie. I want to know if it's rated R. I want to know
Mhm.
if it's whatever the case may be. I want to know what the movie's about.
Yeah.
So I've seen that though. So this ain't like it's something new. It could be a takeover, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a takeover to the point where you start trying to take over the minds of everyone. We're all different. We came in here on a different thing. That's how it was designed. We need to learn from our differences, and then that'll better us. That's how I am with it, because I love perspectives. I love everyone's perspective. It's intriguing. I don't agree with everyone's perspective, but I love diving into that, dog. Tell me why you think it like that, because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
why I think like I think. So
Mhm.
yeah, share that thing. Yeah,
Yeah. So you said it does because I'm not really familiar. I don't really be on Netflix and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna lie, I live and breathe YouTube. So I'm on
got
YouTube from the time that I get up to the time I go to sleep. But you're saying that they do or Netflix has been
absolutely.
doing it. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a whole category. Like if you just wanted to watch something like that, then it's a category where you can just go right to that, and there's a slew of movies, a slew
Hmm.
of content, or whatever. Yeah, so that's not new. They
Oh,
they they are responsible. They're responsible.
okay, okay, all right. So that's good to hear, man. But we already know, man. Anytime Elon Musk get his hands and stuff with money,
Take over.
influence, power, we know how that thing goes, man. You know, you got the richest man in the world, and he recently, like you said, man, just went up another 150 mil out of nowhere. I think he's like over a half.
Really,
He's worth half a
he
bill
he
now.
have he
Yeah.
500 billion strong at this point. Five
Hmm.
hundred billion.
Kicking it, dog. He got daddy, he
Yeah,
got X. He know what he was doing, man. He knew what he was doing by taking over X. I mean, it was a chess move. Honestly, it was a
yeah,
freaking
they
chess
did that.
move, man.
He did
That.
that. He did that. And that's what I think that's on his mind, a full takeover. I don't believe it's because of morals and things like that he's just shooting for. It may have something to do with it, but I think the overall goal is straight takeover. Like
Mm,
make everybody think the way that I think, the way that me and my crew think, me and my followers think, and
mm,
that's not cool for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, even if I do my thing and I come up, I don't want everybody to just ride with me like that. You know what I'm saying? I want some riders, but I mean, who we riding on? If I got everybody to ride with, you know what I mean? So I just think that they on some strong takeover stuff.
Yeah.
And we already know the money comes with the power. The power comes with respect.
Hmm.
So they on that. That's what I
Yeah.
feel.
You ain't got no choice but to hear that man. Now he like, yo, listen, dog. And now it's on. I mean, he pretty much done accomplished his goal. He put it on freaking X. That has
Mm-hmm.
since then went viral again to 227 million followers, and now they pushing it on every single last social media and news outlet. It's all over Google. This thing is getting attention all around the world. And so
Yeah.
Netflix, they catching strays from all over. What do you think their next move is going to be? What do you think Netflix next move is going to be to
I
try to
think
put?
Netflix. I think they're going to do exactly what I just communicated. They're going to point out the things that they've done that's been responsible on
Mhm.
how they put out content.
Yeah.
I've seen it, so I know that it exists.
Hmm.
So I think that's first thing that they ought to do, and then they ought to communicate that they're into what they call the inclusion.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how you do it. Workplaces do it nowadays. We have all kind of celebrations now that we didn't have 20 years ago, definitely not 40 and 50 years ago. Nowadays, we got celebration because it's inclusion. It's everyone should be included. I get that. But on the same tip, every month ain't that month though. You can't just only celebrate. You know what I mean? And then yeah, we get our little month, we get our little Black History Month, and but we don't keep rocking it the rest of the other 11 months. We get
Yeah.
our little one month in, and then they may jump on Juneteenth to come around and this, that, and the other. But what I'm saying is we can't just have one category because it's a new category and it's one that's been overlooked. You can't just say, all right, this month is that, and then a month later, after that month, we on that again, and then we on that again in another month. Like, wait a minute, hold on, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot that can be happening. So inclusion should be one of those things that every entity should have.
Hmm.
It just shouldn't be just this what it is, this how we feel, and I want you to feel the same way.
Yeah. 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 I would definitely say this, man. I'm not gonna lie. And I know I might get some pushback for this, but I got that LGB trans fatigue. I'm tired
That's
of
what I'm
seeing it,
saying. It's
man.
pushing.
Everywhere you turn, it's on everything. We're just like, yo, bro, okay, I get it. We get it. We understand. Y'all are here. Okay, all right, man. It's enough is enough. I
Wow.
wanna be able to turn on my doggone TV one day and not have to worry about like just seeing. I wish there was a button that I can push.
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
want
It's an off button.
to. You say what?
It's an off button. Turn it off. This button, they already created it.
And that's the bad thing about it though, man. Like you can't go on almost any platform and just it's like they're using that as a tactic to. I mean, I understand, it's a lot of
Absolutely.
money that's tied into it. That's pretty much
Yeah,
the
it's
main
bigger than money.
reason
Bigger than
behind it.
money.
But the
Mhm.
crazy thing is now, I would say like maybe 2 years ago, it seemed like more money was being pumped into to doing
Oh
this
yeah.
because of the content and everything. But now it seems like more people are starting to speak against it. And more
Yeah.
companies are
Mhm.
being bashed because of
Mhm.
their pushing this type of content. Like, what
Mhm.
was it? Was it Target? Wasn't that one of the reasons why people were
One of
boycotting
them.
Target?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Like, man, I mean, you gotta pick a struggle. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pick a struggle.
I love this right here. I had no idea this was one of that was going on until you just brought it up. But
Yeah.
I love this, and my thing is this right here. I'm ready to go ahead and get real comfortable because I
Go
love this
ahead.
type of thing, man. I just told you I love perspective, man.
Hmm.
Meaning that you have a perspective, I have a perspective, everybody got a
Hmm.
perspective. I seek to understand, don't mean that I agree or I'm trying to
Hmm.
agree. I just want to see where you at, see what's happening with it, and then we
Yeah.
can have some dialogue. We can jump it back and forth, and then we
Hmm.
can do whatever we want to do. Facts still are facts, but
Yeah.
don't you can't just say, "Hey, that don't mean anything" just because that's how you feel. A
Yeah.
fact is a
Hmm.
fact. But
Hmm.
when you're talking about perspective, and you just said you have fatigue, like with this world right here, right?
Hmm.
So imagine this is perspective. I love this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine after the '60s, and here come the '70s,
Hmm.
and you start seeing more black content. You
Hmm.
start seeing us in movies now. You
Yeah.
start hearing us on the radio now. You
Hmm.
started seeing us. in concert now. When we used to just have to sneak through the back door or something like that.
Mhm.
Now you start to see black, and you start to see black, and you start to see black. Now here it is in 2025. Look at where we came from, right? As far as like now, imagine being that person that did not enjoy that type of content. As far as like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm tired of seeing that. I mean, just imagine how they felt about our movement that we still moving on, right? I get that when you have been neglected or been ignored for so long, now it's kind of like, how dare you get mad that we trying to catch up? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to catch up. Because even with us as black people, we ain't done. We ain't caught up. We way behind. They might still be like, man, that's all I've been hearing for over 40 years. I'm sick of black content. So I get where it can be fatigue to some because that is new to them. But this ain't new. This been going on for a long time. Trans has not started just now. Trans been around way in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, this been a long time. So now it started to get its little push. So now it's like, how dare you start tripping that I'm pushing?
So I would say this, right. So when it comes to black, white, Asian, Mexican, with Latinos, I'm cool with that. It's a sexual preference. I don't want to blend that, you know what I mean? Because a sexual preference is completely different from a black person putting out content, a white person putting out content, a Mexican person putting out content. But when we start pushing again this sexual preference, and if you watch some of this content and listen to the things that they're saying, the stuff that they're putting into it, just like, yo, bro, this is crazy. It's like they continue to push those boundaries instead of, again, it just being, again, if it was just a black thing, a white thing, an Asian thing, I'm cool with that. It's the sexual preference that I have the issue with. Yeah.
Love that, man. Hey, so check it out, bro. Hey, man, I love this right here. And here's why. Because I'm one that, you know, I come from a family, a big family, and, you know, it's a lot of debating that go on in our family. Meaning that if my cousin already took a side, I can't just jump on that side. I got to jump somewhere else. Now, we can still have the same role in mind, but I got to have my own take. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. When you mention that, here, this is what I hear again. So, you know how around the world they see black content and they see it the same. They see black content as gangster, as you know, it ain't nothing but pimps and prostitutes and, you know, all this other type of stuff. They see all that negative stuff about it, right? They hear the music and they say that's all they do. They talk about killing. They talk about killing each other, this, that, and the other. But we know as black people, all of our content ain't got nothing to do with just killing. Actually, if it's a percentage, it's a small percentage of our content in the world that's got to do with killing and got to do with talking about our sisters and things of that nature. But the world only see that part of it, so they get tired of it, just like what we're saying about the sexuality with trans. Trans is not just about sexuality. There's so much other content about being trans, but only thing that you see is what they push. So it's the same thing with the black experience. The only thing that a Japanese person in Japan see about us is thug. But we know that that's a small percentage of what it is. So I would only imagine in trans, that sexuality piece is probably a small percentage of why they are the way that they are. But that is not popular for right now for money reasons, for shock reasons. It's for a lot of reasons why they push this the same way they push our content. And our content is way richer than that. So their content may be way richer than that too. We don't know.
What I would say is so beautiful about content, right, is when you had and I forgive me if I'm butchering this, but the Chinese, Japanese, when they first came out, the media was trying to push them being like janitors and stuff like that. So what they did was they took it upon themselves. They're like, yo, you're not going to label us as this. What you are going to label as is being strong. That's why they came out with the karate movies. You know, a lot of the importance of dang, what is it called, man? What are those people when they are like really, really disciplined? Like they started pushing
Mm,
that type of content. So yes,
yes,
black.
yes.
When you think about black content, I mean, even black directors, I've been
Yep.
around a lot of videographers, cinematographers, you know what I mean? People that's been
Mhm.
doing it for years. And a lot of those people are guilty of it as well,
Yep.
pushing drugs, sex, money, all the rest of the bad things.
Mhm.
But when you
Yeah.
look at the trans, this trans thing, right? Most of the
Mhm.
time when they introduce anything that has to do with trans, 10
Mhm.
times out of 10 it is something sexual. I mean,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have never seen a movie. I've never seen a cartoon where they didn't kiss, where they weren't just doing something extra. And so what I'm saying
Yeah.
is we can exist
Mhm.
as normal, but every time that I'm seeing this kind of this is the reason why I'm getting that fatigue. It's not because of the trans community coming out here and saying that they're trans, like
Mhm.
or a black person coming out and saying that they're black or that they're hood. It's the push, it's the extra, it's the going
Yeah.
overboard. Like again, I've
Yeah.
never seen any type of content, whether it be on Disney, whether it be on Netflix, whether it just be on, just a regular TV show or a movie
Mhm.
where they have
Mhm.
not subjected me to something that I'm just like, yo, bro, this is extra. If this person is trans, like you can go out, you can go over there, chill and hang with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or wear this different type of color hair or whatever, and just be cool and chill. But every time it's a push with them just being extra. That's what I have the issue with. And I think that's the reason why these people
Mhm.
continue to be boycotted. This is the reason why, like, America is tired of this. One of the reasons why Donald Trump probably got into the seat is because a lot of those people that were, like, even Democrats were saying it. Y'all know we follow I'm not, I would never say that I'm a Democrat or Republican because it's a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with both sides. I'm
Absolutely.
independent. But so I'm always gonna be looking at it like, judging things from the outside looking in. And when you
Mhm.
look at people that were on the Democrat side, like they were all for pushing, men using the women's bathroom. They were all for
Yeah. Remember
men
those days.
competing in women's sports. And Trump was
Mhm.
basically saying, hell no, no, women and men are not the same. We got to stop blurring the lines. We got to stop pushing this on
Remember
kids.
that.
And you even have Democrats that were sitting there looking like, what the hell is going on? Like, no, I actually agree with this. The Orange
Yes.
Man, like they
Mhm.
were agreeing with the Orange Man. It's like, yo, no, I can't rock with that, man. I cannot. I do not
Mhm.
want a grown ass man walking into the bathroom with my door. I'm gonna choke this dude
I
out.
know,
Like,
I
no,
know
bro,
you
get up
saying
out
that.
of there, man. You got this dude 6'4", 240 pounds with a damn dress on, going in the
Right.
inside of a bathroom with a 8-year-old kid. Or you got women that are literally being physically beat up in the UFC and in boxing because they are approving of this mess. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
again, when we go
Mm.
back
What
to
is
this
going?
fatigue and everything, I think that's the reason why people have been having an issue with it. And I just think they just need to dial it back down, man. Dial it back down to just be a human being, live your life. I don't think that people hate or have any ill will towards these people. It's like you can exist around us, just don't push that off on us.
Hey, bruh, you know how when you watch Brown Sugar,
Yeah.
you know, and old girl say, "We still talking about hip hop?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I hear when I'm listening to you. Because
Yeah.
as you were speaking,
Hmm.
I'm already at a point of listening to it from how they received us, or didn't never receive us. I,
Hmm.
everything that you said, if we were still talking about hip hop,
Hmm.
everything that you said, that's exactly what they've already said about us. They
Break it
said
down.
everything. they're extra, because we do get extra now when we start glorifying the violence, when we start glorifying all this stuff, every video like that now. Because if I got to get my YouTube channel popping, or if I got to get Instagram or all this stuff popping, I got to do something crazy. And plus, this is my element anyway, so the hood like that. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on it. We grew up in it. You know, I was on some of that dumb, you know, meaning that, you know, this how we move. So it wasn't no made up stuff. This how we move. But this how we move when we 16 and all the way up to, like, let's say 22 or something like that. But then hopefully you start outgrowing and you move a little bit better. But we were extra like that. You see what I'm saying? We in the videos with the AR-15. We letting you know we got this on this. We doing that. So everything that you just said, it's definitely relevant in our movement as well. Now, I will go back to the people that are pushing against it. I think that's responsible as well, because somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on something. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? So somebody definitely has to do it. I'm not saying that I'm against what they're doing, because I agree with what they're doing too. I think there's a line in between both, meaning that, listen, y'all, same way that music came out with us, with hip hop. We had the sticker on there, right? And they was like, wait a minute, bro, wait. First, they just banned our music. And what your boy Luke from Two Live Crew do? He was like, nah, dog, you can't just ban the music. It's freedom of speech. So without Luke, we would have just been not heard, right? And he's like, no, we have a right to be heard, regardless if that's what you believe in or not. And then what the compromise was, put the sticker on the album. You see what I mean? So same thing with this subject that we're talking about. The pushback is coming from a responsible place. However, there should be a freedom of expression and freedom of speech, but that has to be responsible as well. So now all we have to do is find the compromise. Like every movie can't be that. Every movie can't have those type of scenes. Now, that responsibility comes from within. So you have your Spike Lees and things of that nature. You know, I understand people want to bash Tyler Perry a little bit, because he's like, man, every time you put a movie out, it always got to be a sister that was in the struggle from a dude, from one of us, and
from
then
a black
she overcomes
dude.
it. Like, we know good, and that's all your movies, Tyler. I understand that Tyler's like, dude, this is what I saw coming up. This is the thing that I want to speak to, and he has the right to speak to that. So it's not Tyler's responsibility to change his format. It's someone else's responsibility to come in and show a different side of us, because they exist. They exist. So same thing in the trans world, then they need to have someone that's responsible to say, no, we are more than that. Here's what we are to the core. It's not about our sexuality. Everybody has a sexuality. So it's like, this is who we are. This is why we are who we are. Someone has to be responsible to put that content out. Now, I understand that it's still going to be way in the cut, because they're not going to push that. It has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. So your boy Common used to put out so much positive content, and a lot of time it was pushed down. But guess what? Common came through. Now we know him. And now if we want to listen to something in that lane, we know go hit Common. We know go hit. We got artists that we can go hit now. You see what I mean? So it's a responsibility by both sides. That has to happen. But without this right here, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what's coming. It's coming.
Facts.
It has to.
All right, hold on. Let me. We got another. We got T joining real quick. Let me go ahead and add her. Well, I'll add you in just a second. I'm gonna leave you in the green room. If you want to do some stuff with your camera, then I'll bring you in just a second, T.
Okay,
All right.
cool again.
So let me go ahead and respond to this comment. So we did have a comment. Let me go over and go through some of these comments, and then I'll respond to them. Melanie says, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Appreciate you for coming through. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I mean, my bad. Yes, ma'am. She said, Elon Musk is right. Cancel them.
Ooh, I heard that.
Dog. We the people do say what's good, what's going on? What's going on, fam? All right. And one of the last comments is, do we stay there or do we educate the youth to do better? So that will kind of go into this the next point that I was thinking about, right? I would say this. Two wrongs don't make a right. And even us as black people have made mistakes. Black people, white people, I think
Everybody.
everybody makes mistakes. And I think that the wrong thing for us to do is continue to follow a suit knowing that this is going to be bad for our community, for our people. You don't want to
Like that.
continue to go down like a dead end. And
Yeah.
so even when I got into doing media, because I used to do skits. I used to do skits and knowing and understanding that beautiful women are going to get you the views. And you're going to get even more views when you start to, have people half naked and things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, right, when you know better, you should do
You
better.
do.
And us
Supposed to.
as grown, mature adults, again, even the rappers, the singers, directors, producers, writers, all of those people know and understand like good content and bad content.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that they're going to be able to learn from, right? Regardless if it's a adult, a male, female, a child, or whatever. Always looking at it like that. I want to give these people content that they can actually, hopefully, learn and grow from. I'm not. Look, there are going to always be people out there that do things the wrong way.
Yeah,
I'm
that's happened.
always looking for yeah, I'm always looking for people that are doing things the right way, the correct way. And what I'm saying about, when you spoke about Common, right? When you spoke about
Mm-hmm.
him and it's a few other people, shout out to my boy Wale, love
Yeah.
Wale, Ace Hood. If you look
Yeah.
at those guys, you can see the transformation that they made over time. Like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I see what's
Yeah.
going on that's wrong with what we got going on. I have yet to still see anybody in the trans community that has done that. And they listen, you done had years. I have not seen a director. And again, I live in the media. I always approach everything with an open mindset, right? Let's see what's going on, what's wrong, what's right. Do we have anybody from that community that's pushing a more positive look for this community? I have yet to see him. And listen, it's over
Mm-hmm.
23 or 24,000 people on this channel. If you guys know anybody in that community that you can direct me to that's doing something outside the norm, outside the bubble, again, not pushing sex and all the rest of the wrong parts of being a trans, which, you know, I know you said it is probably a small percentage, but that's the only thing that I have seen on every platform that I've been on about anybody that has that trans label or in the LGBTQ plus community. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. If not,
What's
y'all can torture.
old girl? And I don't know. I don't think she's trans, but I think she definitely is a supporter of the community. Yeah, what is it? Issa Rae or something like that. She be having a
Issa,
lot of
oh
movies.
yeah, Issa Rae. Yeah, I know you're talking about Issa Rae. Yeah, yeah.
So I know when she puts movies out, I enjoy those movies. Now I'm not sure if that's in the same lane that we've been talking about, but it seems like she supports inclusion. Let's say that. So I think people like her, it's going to be the people to make it better, to be the ones to somewhat even the playing field, which is going to be it's going to be tough because we still haven't even the playing field. We don't have enough directors out there to give us the positive movies that we used to have, that we
Mhm.
grew up on. You know what I mean? So I believe that's a good start, though. But like I said, man, it will take some time, and I do understand you saying, you've been giving it some time, and people been giving it some time. But it got to be more than just time. It has to be support as well. So it has to be feedback, just like what you're doing. This right here, what you're doing, uh, it's called feedback.
Mhm.
I know in the business that I'm in, I love feedback, whether it's good or bad. Of course, everybody loves great feedback, but even not so great feedback, you can learn from, meaning that you can grow from. It becomes an opportunity.
Mhm.
So I think this right here is great feedback. So someone could say, you know what, that's what I'm doing. Because the people that are doing it, we just haven't heard from them, heard of them because they're so far under the foolishness. But they'll
Yes.
come up and it'll take things like this to bring them up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you'll be
I want
fine.
to say Issa Rae. She a little sexual. I think Issa Rae done has some.
Oh yeah,
What is the name of that? What's the name? What's the name of that show? Insecure or something like that.
insecure.
She had like 4 5 dudes or something like that that she had a rotation.
Yeah, I didn't see all of I didn't see all of the series and things like that. But I think what I like from what I have seen from her is she's coming from a perspective that is relevant. It
Yeah.
may not be my perspective, but it is a perspective. So insecure is something that people can relate to. And I'm sure that her content probably is something that people have gone through.
Mhm.
Once you get through it, then you can get to some other stuff, you know?
Mhm.
So even with me, with music, I got a lot of music that go back 30 years. That don't mean I'm just gonna tear up my stuff from 30 years ago and throw it away. I'm gonna modernize it, but I'm still gonna speak on because those topics are still relevant.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
I may not, I've grown from them, so
Mhm.
I won't speak in the same light as if I was still of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can tweak it, but
Mhm.
the topic is still relevant.
1,000%, and that's the beauty about content. That's the reason
Mhm.
why a lot of people ask me like, "Are you gonna delete some of those old videos?" Because they ask me, what do you think about your old video that you post? I was like, I mean, it's kind of cringe to watch, but the best thing
Amen.
about that is you get the opportunity to see, and people get the opportunity to see the growth over
See the
time.
growth.
When I
Yeah.
first started, I was struggling when it came to cameras. I didn't understand lighting. I didn't
Mhm.
understand, camera settings, none of those
Where
things.
I'm at right now. You was
Yes.
where I'm at. You where I'm at right now. You were where I'm at.
But yeah, that's the reason why I'm gonna bring you in, T. But yeah, that's the reason why, I think that is so important, right? And like you just said, you know, um, even though I lived, like I know and I understand I have like certain lived experiences from growing
Mhm.
up, you know what I mean, in rough parts, having, a phenomenal life and doing some, some dope
Right.
things or whatever. Yeah. Being able to share that, but also again add value by telling
Right.
them like this is what I've learned from
Mhm.
those lived experiences.
It's
This is what
responsible.
I believe that you should and you shouldn't do. I wouldn't go down there. I wouldn't recommend you go down,
Absolutely.
this path that I took. Or, these are things that I learned, and I would tell you, man, you can grow a lot quicker by doing things this way.
Mhm.
And so,
Absolutely.
when we think and we talk about content, that's the space that I would absolutely love to live in. Listen, I know everybody is not going to get on that boat. Everybody is not, ready for something like that. But,
Mhm.
I'm just hoping that eventually we'll get to a place where at least the mainstream is on the same page with that.
Feel it. Feel it.
What's going on, T? What's up? How was your walk or your run? What's good with you?
Oh, it was good. Um, I'm definitely feeling it.
Hey.
Oh, my
Yes.
bad. Where are my manners? T, this is my dog 3D. 3D, this is T.
Hey T, how you doing?
I'm all
Good to
right.
meet
How are
you.
you? Nice
I
to
am
meet you
doing
as
very
well.
well. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
But yeah, you can go and tell us about go and tell us about your run before we get into this other content.
no, I didn't run today.
Oh,
I didn't run today. That would have been a lot of movement.
Mhm.
Just nice little walk, nature walk through
That's
um
good. That's good.
through the park. It sounds so corny.
No,
Nah, that's
that's
it.
good. I'm
That's how
telling
you
you.
get centered. That's how you get centered. I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So about 3 miles, a mile and a half down, a mile and a half back.
Okay.
And then I did go to the store, got a few things. Um and I'm here.
Beautiful.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah, so we just touched on the Elon Musk thing. You know, he was calling for a boycott for Netflix. I'm not sure if you got the opportunity to hear about that. Did you hear anything about Elon Musk doing that?
Just yeah, just a quick hearing about it. I didn't see anything on social media, but I just heard that yeah, like you said that I don't want to say rally, but rally the people
Hmm.
to pretty much. Now, what I don't know the cause behind it, but I just heard that that's what he's done.
Yeah, yeah. So I ain't gonna lie. I just found out this morning why that was. Like I was, yeah. I just heard that he was on X, and he was basically saying boycott them, but I didn't know why. So come to find out that the Netflix, I guess they just launched a transgender cartoon that allegedly he felt like they were pushing on children. And so, after catching wind of this, that's when he announced to his 227 million followers that they
Mm,
should boycott Netflix. That was the reason behind it. Again, I just
Hmm.
found out this morning, like maybe an hour before this live stream started. I didn't know it.
Hmm.
wow.
Tough.
Yeah, I feel like since it's a cartoon, it is pushing towards the children. If it was like a show, a, a reality show or something like that, then you can say otherwise. Oh, well, no, it's not towards children or young adults or something like that. But since
Hmm.
the simple fact that it is a cartoon, yeah, that does kind of lead towards the children. That's crazy though.
Unless they label it like the Adult Swim, you know how they got Adult Swim. I've never watched it, but I know people that enjoy Adult Swim. They are
Yeah.
adults, and it's in a
Yeah.
cartoon format, but it's for adults. So if it's categorized like that, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But if it's
Yeah.
irresponsible, and you just doing cartoons and that's how you doing it, and that ain't cool. Yeah,
And then Adult Swim came on when the children were supposed to be asleep for the most part,
ain't
but
there some? Right. Yep.
yeah, but
Responsible.
now in today's age, you can like access things through your
Yeah.
phone, tablets, and
Right.
TV screen streaming, Netflix, all those
Mhm.
other streaming services, Hulu, and things like that. So it's
Mhm.
readily more, uh,
Available to them. Yep, you're right.
yeah, like it's readily more available to be
Mhm.
accessed through, for the children to get to. So
But
yeah, but
let's
I
keep it a plus for real. You watch, I'm pretty sure when you were younger, because I know me, I'm out of St. Louis. Man, before the age of 6, you know how much stuff I saw? I saw a lot that's still in my mind right now. So I do understand how damaging it can be, but
Mhm,
everything was accessible to us, and we didn't have social media, we didn't have any streaming platforms and nothing like that. But I saw things. I saw a lot of things,
mhm,
because I come from a big family. So,
mhm.
there was a lot of things that I saw before I turned 6 years old. So at some point, the responsibility lies within the household as well, or the
Right.
community. So it can't just be left up to these people that's making millions and billions of dollars for you to tell them what to do. No, you got to do your part. So
Mhm.
you can't tell me shut down my enterprise because you ain't do your thing on teaching your kids what they shouldn't be putting into their system. That ain't my responsibility. My responsibility is give return on investment. That's
That's
it.
true. That's true. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like it does definitely start at the home because,
Right.
parents are the, children's first teachers and you should be a,
That's
a,
right.
a role model to your children. And if you pretty much protect them. One,
You have to.
um, instill the values that you want instilled into your child. Two, so they have that strong sense of identity that any other
That's,
outside forces doesn't interfere
that's
with who
right.
they are.
That's right.
I
I
ain't gonna
love
lie,
that.
man. Listen, I,
Because
I,
we
I
talk
was
about
watching
instilling.
BET Uncut when I was younger, but we ain't gonna talk about
Yeah.
that.
And then we talk
Yeah,
about,
like you just said, it
but
starts in
bro,
the home.
when we talking about
Which is true.
instilling values and things like that, it's not to say the reason why we're instilling those values is because we know that at some point you're going to run across these things. It ain't to say
Hmm.
I'm doing this so that you never will have to see things that will come into your spirit, or you will not. No, it's doing it knowing that that's coming. So we
Yep.
understand you're going to see things that you should then make up your mind to say, I see that. That's why mama or daddy said don't trip out that and I'm good with that. I saw it. I don't want to see it anymore. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But it's never to do that to say that this is going to prevent you from seeing or going through anything that's going to happen at school or in the streets. No, it's to get you ready for school and to get you ready for the streets. And then you can turn away because as a kid, when you're 6, you're supposed to say, oh, meaning that I shouldn't be watching that and you shouldn't be either.
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up. Tan skin, mixed race, buttercup. Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna. Whoa.